If you're interested in learning how to cultivate gratitude, stay tuned to this morning's show to learn the secret formula. Find out what it's all about coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning and happy 4th of July, and welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Tidelands Bank and their new branch location on Highway 17 Bypass South in Murrells Inlet. We're focused on cultivating gratitude, and we're visiting with a man who lives his life by that personal motto. Good morning, Andy Lesnik. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
How about this Tidelands Bank?
Very nice.
It's a great facility.
It sure is.
A year ago at this exact same week, we were filming at the new branch location up on 44th Avenue of Tidelands Bank, and had some of the same folks. Bob Hendrick was with us that week, pumping up the 24th. Now this week, the 25th Annual Boat Parade, and Kathy Hustis, Reverend Hustis from Coastal Samaritan Counseling Center, was with us, pumping up the Dr. Holmesby Springs Junior Golf Tournament, which is coming up the end of this month. And of course, the opportunity to get you in, it's taken a while to get you back in.
I've been busy.
Oh, I know, Andy. A lot going on. I think I read recently, actually, you're helping to organize and found a new community bank.
I am. I'm an organizer of a new community bank called Coastal Carolina National Bank.
Great.
And we got a great board, and we're in the formative stages.
Right.
We hope to expect to open later this year.
And I saw the beautiful new location you all have up near the Founders Center.
That's right.
Between the Founders Center and the
Convention
Center, which is a hot location.
Yep.
How did y'all land that, Andy?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I love that location.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
and as you said, a lot going on. The recent recipient of the Silver Medal Award from the local Advertising Association, Advertising Federation, camp that recognized you as their big annual honoree, which was a very big deal. Congratulations.
Thanks, Craig. I appreciate that.
Cultivating Gratitude came out that night. I think you shared with the
crowd. I did. I mentioned it that night that it's kind of a personal mantra of mine. You know, we go through good times and bad times in life, and good times and bad times economically. And the last time I went through a really hard time in my business was 1990-91, so it's been a long time.
Right.
But I really came out of that learning to just cultivate gratitude, just learn how to focus on the things that you should appreciate. And it works against feeling entitled to things. You know, so if you train yourself to be thankful, basically, and tune into things that you might take for granted, like just having enough to eat or clean water, or things that a lot of people in the world don't have, that we just take for granted.
Right.
It helps have a more positive attitude and get you through things.
Right.
So, kind of stayed with me since then, and I like it as a simple formula.
And the personal motto, the personal aspect of that, deals both on the personal side of your life as well as in the workplace.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just a way to, you know, there's a lot of things people say about having a positive attitude or the value of positive energy. But cultivate gratitude is really a way to think about your relationship to God or the universe or something bigger than yourself.
Sure. And
to be grateful, to just learn how to do that. So, when you're feeling bad or you're anxious or you have things that might kind of throw you off kilter, to be able to bring it back to something that's more about gratitude, I think, is just constructive.
You said learn how to do that.
Yeah.
What are some of the steps, let's say, to somebody, if you were talking to them about how to cultivate gratitude? Are there some steps there that you've learned over the years about how you would actually learn how to cultivate gratitude?
Well, partly I think it's learning how to put your mind and your feelings on the focus that you want them to have, because we're all subject to our feelings and our moods. They just come over us.
Right.
So to be able to recognize, like, I don't really want to feel this way, or I don't like where I am right now.
Right.
To be able to recognize that and say, I'd rather put my mind or my thoughts somewhere else and focus on things that I can be grateful for. A lot of times they're just simple things. like I mentioned, that 1990-91 period was really the last personally tough time I've had in my business life. But I learned to think about things like the country's at peace. The sun is shining.
Yeah.
My family is healthy.
Right.
Things that
simple things that are actually really big.
Exactly.
They're big
things.
Just saying it to yourself simply or recognizing it.
Yeah, to appreciate that and be grateful for it and recognize that that's more important than this account or that account or things like that.
Yeah.
So each person has have to go through their own way to do it.
Right.
But the thought resonates for most people who recognize that they do have a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And I've traveled a lot outside this country and spent a lot of time in the third world.
Right.
And there are places where people don't have clean water. They live in incredible poverty, and we just take all these things for granted as Americans. So it's good not to take them for granted.
Well, the great step even beyond that is that idea that in those third world countries, living without water and deep poverty, those folks are still able to cultivate gratitude.
That's right.
Which
they
is
are.
tremendous. That
That's
idea
right.
that they're really able to, they may not say their country's at peace.
Right.
They may not think through the steps of my family's healthy, but they find some way.
That's
and I
right.
guess that same thing for us, we, even at deep depths of low points in our life, can find something to be thankful
That's
for.
right. I mean, a lot of times, affluent societies like we live in, the material side of things just gets out of balance and you can't remember what's really important. So that's it.
That's good. Well, thank
Okay.
you. Yes, we wanted to open that up since we are we're celebrating our nation's birth, but also our independence.
Right.
A real opportunity here on July 4th as folks are preparing for the big boat parade today and Bob Hendrick Day in Merle's Inlet, and our viewers in the PD in southeastern North Carolina possibly getting ready for some fireworks shows. Big special things going on tonight. A lot to be thankful for.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Even just to live in America in terms of the freedom we have and the opportunities we have compared to so many places in the world is a lot to be grateful for.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Andy. What brought you to the area, Andy? Are you originally, you're not from the area, are you?
I'm not. I came here, you've heard the story before, but I came
share
here.
with viewers who may not have caught you when you've been with us in the past.
I came here in 1970 with 3 friends and a dog named Ralph and a psychedelically painted VW van.
Oh, boy.
We were basically hippies. I had a long beard, long hair. We were camping out. Myrtle Beach was one of our stopping points. We were heading to California, actually. We arrived.
From where to?
Well, I went to Harvard, and a year after that, I hit the road with my friends.
Yeah, so you all weren't necessarily leaving from anywhere.
We were in between. We hadn't settled anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
And so we didn't have any place to go back to.
Right.
We were wandering, and we got here November 1st. It was freezing. We camped out at Apache Campground.
Oh, yeah, good.
Which is one of the few campgrounds still here.
That's right.
And I've never left. I mean, I just connected with Myrtle Beach, and I literally never left. My friends went on their little odyssey. All of them eventually came back and lived here.
All three of them?
All 3 of them.
Wow.
Of course,
because
Ralph
you
is
were such a magnet.
No, it wasn't me.
What could have pulled them back here? Ralph is not with us.
Ralph is gone,
yes.
And the van is gone.
And the van, I wonder if anyone's tried to track that down. Yeah.
We've got photos of it.
But the other 3, what was it about the area that obviously they recognize you love something?
They
here.
like the area,
Right.
So they've all been here ever since.
Are they still all still living?
They're all still here.
That's tremendous.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is.
Yeah.
That is. Do you all have reunions? You're coming up on your 40th reunion in about 18 months, maybe a little more.
You mean my college reunion?
I'm sorry, the November 1 of 70, and let's see, is that 2010? We're not far, 2 years out.
No, we don't actually have reunions.
Okay,
reunions. I might remember the day, but
that's big in and of itself.
Yeah.
And what was it about the area that really you bonded with? Apache Campground's a special place, obviously, and Ocean Lakes opened, I guess, the next year in '71.
Yeah. Well, actually, the thing that brought me here in the first place was that there's a spiritual retreat here.
Oh, really? Yes. What's
and
that?
That's the Mayher Spiritual Center. You know,
Right.
so 500 acres.
Oh,
It's a sanctuary, you know, right next to where Briarcliff is, and
next to Walmart up there.
next to Walmart,
Right.
and you know that's kind of what drew me here, and it's just a wonderful place, and that's part of why my friends came back as well.
Yes.
So, yeah.
The Mayor Spiritual Center.
Mayor Spiritual Center.
500 acres.
500 acres.
Do folks ever go back there? Is that, I mean, clearly
It's a
you and
it's a
some
place of
friends-
spiritual retreat. You know,
That's
cabins in the
fantastic.
woods, and
Right.
it was founded in the 40s actually. The land came from the Burroughs and Chapin family,
Right.
and so it's really an amazing thing. It's a little oasis in the middle of all of the commercialization of our area.
Right. No one actually lives there full time.
No, it's
just a great
it's
retreat.
a spiritual retreat.
That's
yeah.
wonderful.
So, you ever been there?
I've never been there, Andy.
well-
I've heard folks talk about it, including yourself.
Yeah.
One of your former, one of the folks who used to be at LHWH
Right,
had mentioned it
right.
to me many times.
Right. So that was kind of the initial attraction,
Mm-hmm.
was to check that place out.
So you did, you checked it out, you
Checked it
loved
out,
it.
loved
and
it.
then the doors opened to, of course, back in, I think you shared with us a couple years ago, Sheriar Press was your first venture.
Right. And then, like many people my generation, I came from being counterculture, hippie guy
Yeah.
to mainstream America. Started a business in 1971 with a partner, printing business, Sheriar Press,
Sheriar Press.
which is
yes.
still there. It's for 10 years running the most award-winning printer in South Carolina.
Oh, come on. Say
It's
that
fact.
again. For
10 years
running.
running. Yep.
The most
Award-winning
award-winning
printer in the state.
In the whole state?
In the whole state.
Probably one of the strongest then in the Carolinas.
One of the top 2 or 3 in both North and South Carolina, year in and year out.
Wow.
That's based on our trade association. They have annual award competition called PICA Awards, and Sheriar Press usually wins the most or the second most awards of any printer in North and South Carolina. So yeah, I'm proud of that. It's
You've
pretty
got to
cool.
be,
Yeah.
yes. So
Yeah.
that a business you had helped found or co-founded,
Right.
And now are the managing partner of
Right.
almost 40 years later.
Yep.
That for 10 consecutive years.
You're making me feel old, Greg.
I'm sorry, Andy. Well,
This
we were
40
about
years
to
thing,
ask,
you got to stop this 40 years
You've
thing.
got to go back to the idea if you missed the long hair and the long beard.
Yeah.
Do you?
No.
Oh, no, not at all.
No, I don't miss that. No.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Did you keep that? Did you keep the beard and the long hair when you co-founded Sheriar Press? How long did you?
briefly.
Right.
What happened was that I was actually 24 years old when we started Sheriar Press, so I knew nothing about what I was doing, nothing about printing, stumbled into it, and discovered I had to kind of go out and drum up business. So I didn't understand sales, I didn't understand printing. I was a Yankee, my company name was unpronounceable, I had long hair and a beard. So I was basically thrown out of every place I walked into.
Oh, yeah.
With, a southern kind of courtesy of, can I help you?
Yeah.
Which really meant back out the door.
Out the door.
So I did learn that it would be helpful if I shaved and didn't have a beard and didn't have long hair and started to get some new clothes.
Throw in a
and,
little southern drawl,
present myself better.
Yeah.
So,
and it worked.
so of necessity, I learned how to do that and had some help, of course, along the way from people who
Some good.
were kind enough to buy something from me. And,
Oh, yeah. Who were some of those folks? Do you remember some of those that stand out?
interestingly enough, the 2 of my first customers were Edgerton Burroughs,
Edgerton Burroughs,
who's
yes.
first chairman of the
Chairman
board of BNC,
Yes, right.
and really the one of the key organizers of this new community bank. Also,
Good, of Coastal Carolina National
Coastal Carolina
Bank.
National
Yeah,
Bank.
Right. Love that
and
name.
also Larry Biddle, who at the time was in charge of admissions at Coastal Carolina College.
Right, right.
So